Say the thing you're afraid to say. Say it out loud, no matter what it is, no matter how bad.
I first have to say that in honor of season 2 coming out, I've been playing The Last of Us Part 2 on grounded mode for the first time,
Good for
and
you.
y'all have created a very difficult game.
Uh,
It's
I've never done that. It's too hard. I can't do it.
I made it from easy to normal over 4.5 years. So good for
yeah.
you.
I've played on every other level except for grounded, and I haven't even gotten past Ellie's first interaction with the Seraphites. So
Okay.
we'll see how that goes. But that leads into my first question. What difficulty mode would you consider season 2 to be on?
Ooh, ooh.
There's this really nice line from girlfriend reviews. I forget their exact names. Which is like, there's no difficulty mode for empathy.
Oh,
Um, I don't know. I guess well, yeah, it's probably it might get the
I
grounded.
think we're at hard, but getting
There's
toward
there's a
grounded.
setup at the end of you've seen episode 1, right?
Yeah.
There's a setup there, right? We're seeing there's a reckoning coming. There's a human threat. There's an infected threat. What's about to go down is maybe grounded difficulty.
That's as grounded as you can get, really. Neil, I actually remember very early on, I think it was when one of the first trailers for the second game came out, and you had said something like, if the first game was about love, then the second game is about hate.
Mm.
Do you sort of have the same philosophy for the first and second seasons of the show?
I do. Maybe I've over the time developed a more elegant way to talk about it, which is like the story of The Last of Us. Both games, both season is an exploration of love, and the exploration of how far will you go for the people you love. We got to see it in season 1 of, Joel and Ellie are making ever escalating sacrifices to protect one another, to save one another. By the end of it, Joel is not only willing to sacrifice all of humanity to save Ellie, he's willing to sacrifice his own relationship with Ellie to try to protect Ellie, right? He's lying to her face, knowing that if she ever found out, that might be the end of their relationship. And then with season 2, likewise in game 2, it became a story about the consequences of those choices that come out of love. And then what happens when someone you love is hurt by someone else? How far would you go to bring that person to justice? That is an expansion. That's still an exploration of love. You can now say that love has turned into hate, but the motivation, the origin of it is love.
Mm-hmm. Very well put. And, for both of you, having created the 3 main groups of what I assume of this season, Jackson, the Wolves, the Seraphites, which of them do you think you guys experimented with the most creating this season?
Experimented with. I think in this season, it would be Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Jackson is really expounded upon from the game. We get to spend more time with Ellie's community in a way that in the game you don't, because you're so locked in step with Ellie's experience. You don't get to see Joel and Dina together. You don't get to see Tommy's marriage, right? And here we're really opening that up, so you feel this community that Ellie is leaving, or that Ellie is that has given Ellie a home. So yeah, I would say Jackson.
But I would say, for fans of the game coming in, expect to see expansions for all 3 groups.
I think that's what we all want, really. And looking back on season 1, when you were coming into season 2 and creating that, was there anything that you wanted to do differently this go around, whether it was like your writing process, an element of the production?
One of the first things I wanted to do was to bring Hallie on board. I felt that her voice was so important to the story, and I couldn't imagine revisiting the story without her there. And I was glad that, Craig was very receptive to it. It just made sense to us. Um, as far as, there are just certain things that we learned, that we did a lot of experiments of what's going to work for the infected from a prosthetic standpoint versus VFX. Some of those theories didn't quite work out, and we had to like course correct over the course of making season 1. That now that we knew what we were doing, we could become even more ambitious in our infected set pieces and what you're about to see in the season. But Episode 1 is the setup. The roller coaster is about to begin.
Were there any small, unique details, maybe something that the viewers may not catch on to in this season that you felt you really had to include just for your own satisfaction as like the cherry on top of everything?
Gamers are going to see it all, right? Like you saw the first episode, there's like that moment when you see the poster of the dog on the wall. To somebody who hasn't played the game, that's just like a cool environmental beat. But if you've played the game, you know the puzzle connected to that image, right? You get this sense of how the people making this show have honored the source material. So I don't know if there's anything hidden, because I think gamers are extremely astute, but there are definitely there are definitely sprinkled throughout the entire season moments that are going to make people feel that the story that they love is being honored.
I mean, I'll be honest, I constantly find Easter eggs watching the show because the people that made it are such fans of the game. So it's not like I am the creator, I'm asking them to put all this stuff in. They're doing that on their own. So like, you know, every shot in Ellie's garage, look at every corner. There's so much that is told, like some of it's from the game and some of it's new additions from the show. Likewise, you know, we get to be inside Joel's house. Just pay attention to the shots. It's almost identical to his house in the game, like to a T, that it was surreal for us to
Crazy.
stand inside of it.
Like you go up into his closet and there's his jacket hanging there. Like I felt like I could act out that scene by myself. It was wild.
What scene? I don't know what
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, as someone who has played the game multiple times, I was spotting Easter eggs like left and right throughout my first watch of the season 2 premiere. So very good work on everybody's part for creating this entire world.